class here. I think two females that definitely offer some differences in terms of their advantages out here. The one I like is just more robust in terms of her center body. I really like her forerib. I like the added depth that you have back to her rear rib and flank. She's one that has some shape and power when you get right in behind her. She's just maybe more my kind in terms of the added functionality that she represents there through the center portion of her body. Now that's not to take anything away from the really extended made, long and attractive fronted heifer that's going to stand second. I really like the added length that this heifer has. The gray heifer is also probably a little stouter featured when you really analyze her at the ground. She's just a little bit tighter in terms of her center body, maybe not as naturally deep there, not as high a volume as the red heifer that we have placed ahead of her. But again, two heifers that have a lot of quality to them, just a little bit different in terms of their type and kind. Congratulations to both of these exhibitors.
Congratulations to your division winner, entry number 164, Brock Sartwell of Campbellton, Texas. Your reserve in the division belongs to entry number 159, J.D. Sartwell of Campbellton, Texas. We will now be bringing in our grand champion individuals from the drives, plus the reserve from the drives. We'll be looking for entry number 160, J.D. Sartwell, Campbellton, Texas. Entry 164, Brock Sartwell of Campbellton, Texas. We'll also have our reserve division winner, entry number 159, J.D. Sartwell of Campbellton, Texas.
Well, three really good Brahman females over here to complete our female drive. And again, we talked about each one of these a little bit in class, but just to kind of share a few more thoughts, I think in terms of what they represent for their breed, you can really appreciate some of the added stoutness that you see out here in the ring, some of the extra style and eye appeal that a couple of these have. Just some really complete kind of females here, even though there maybe wasn't just tons of numbers, definitely quality. And so my compliments to the exhibitors on bringing into the ring really well-made, functional kind of cattle that really represent the breed well. I think as you analyze between our two class winners, again, there's some differences, yes, but I think when we get back to basics in terms of having them being built correctly at the ground, being wide in terms of their structural base, maintaining some advantages with shape and dimension up high and out through their hip, it's easy for me. I like the red heifer to win. I think the more challenging decision becomes between whether that's the heifer that won the first class or the heifer that stood second to our red heifer in that particular class. Again, I think they differ just a little bit. To me, the little heifer over here is a little bit more natural in terms of her body depth, and I appreciate that about her. Maybe a little more practical from that standpoint, the look there that you get from a profile. The one that's maybe a little harder to create in terms of when you think about it from a cattleman's perspective and on down the road for production goals, I think is the big heifer over here. She's a little bit straighter in the lines, a little leveler out of her hip, a little longer out through her front end. She's the one I like second best. She'll be your reserve champion. Let's congratulate these young people one more time.
Congratulations to your 2021 Arizona National Livestock Show Open Brahman Champion Female. Belongs to entry number 498, Brock Sartwell Campbellton, Texas. And your reserve champion of the 2021 Arizona National Livestock Show, reserve champion female, belongs to entry number 159, JB Sartwell of Campbellton, Texas. Please give these individuals a big round of applause. We are going to be moving right into at the conclusion of our pictures here in the ring. We're going to be moving into Class 33 late senior bull calves, calf November through December of 2020. We're looking for a single entry number 4666, Blake Norris, Casa Grande, Arizona. Please be ringside. Just a quick recap from our junior prospect steer champion drive. Cattle show side, we will now be bringing into the ring Class 33 late senior bull calves, calf November through December of 2020. We'll be looking for entry number 4666, Blake Norris of Casa Grande, Arizona. Blake Norris, your Brahma Bull class is in the ring. Blake Norris, your Brahma Bull class is in the ring. 6, Blake Norris of Casa Grande, Arizona.
Are you done with lunch? Yeah. Thank you so much.
Your 2021 Arizona National Best of Arizona. Grace Grosseto will be receiving a banner, a champion banner that has been donated by Robert Kemper Corrigan Foundation. She'll be also receiving a $1,000 premium that has been donated by the Robert Kemper Corrigan Foundation.
Just a single entry over here, again on our Brahmin side, but a really nice made kind of a bull, one that's really long and true in terms of his stride. He's correct in terms. He's one that's super correct from a structural standpoint. He's one that's got some shape and dimension when you get in behind him and still pulls together a nice profile when you get off to him from the side. He's getting a little antsy out here, but when she gets him pulled together, I think he's a bull that definitely could have handled some more competition within this respective division. Just a really nice, complete kind of a bull here. Congratulations to her.
Your 2021 Best Arizona Reserve. Judge. As we come back to our open cattle show in the Brahmin division, congratulations to entry number 466, Blake Norris of Casa Grande, Arizona. We have now in the ring, class number 38, Junior Yearling Bulls, calved January through February of 2020. We have entry number 161, J.D. Sartwell of Campbellton, Texas.
Real powerfully constructed kind of a bull here to win this class. One that you really like, the look that he offers you there from a profile, really functional in terms of his kind. He's got a real robust look there through the center portion of his body and maintains a lot of width up high. He's just a really good kind of a bull that's got a lot of power and shape to him, one that I would guess would generate a lot of profit on down the road in terms of breeding true to his type and kind. Really nice kind of a bull here. Let's congratulate this exhibitor.
Congratulations to your division champion, entry 161, J.D. Sartwell of Campbellton, Texas. We will now be bringing in both of our division champions for the selection of the 2021 Open Brahmin Bull. From class 33, division champion entry number 4666, Blake Norris, Casa Grande, Arizona. From class 38, your division champion, entry number 161, J.D. Sartwell of Campbellton, Texas.
Pick him right there. Scratch him there.
Bulls are feeling kind of frisky over here, so we'll go ahead and talk these two. Again, within their class, both these bulls have a lot of future to them. I think there's a lot of potential in both these bulls. There's some quality definitely within both, that we talked about that a little bit in class. To me, there's one that's just a little bit stouter in terms of the way that he's put together, handles his hind leg a little more correctly in terms of mobility. He's wanting to kind of be a jerk out here, but the bull that I like to win the show is the Red Bull. He's the most complete one. Congratulations to him. Young lady will follow up to be reserve out here with her younger bull. Really nice made kind of a bull that's got a good look to him. A lot of future to him on down the road as well. Congratulations to both these exhibitors.
Congratulations to our grand champion 2021 Arizona National Brahman Bull. Belongs to entry number 161, J.D. Sartwell of Campbellton, Texas. And our 2021 reserve champion Brahman Bull belongs to Blake Norris of Casa Grande, Arizona.
Come on, go straight back. You're not gonna
Try this bowl out and we'll see how it works out.
You're good.
Bayfield, Colorado. Entry number 4150, Madeline Stevenson, Hesperus, Colorado. Entry number 4339, Langley Rocha, Los Banos, California. Entry number 1131, Isabel Lowry, Helena, Montana. And rounding up the class will be entry number 4355, Caitlin McCoy, La Grande, Oregon. Cattle Show. Entry number 3304, Joanne Pants of Tucumcari, New Mexico. Entry number 4768, Jordan Lott of Bayfield, Colorado. Entry number 4150, Madeline Stevenson from Hesperus, Colorado. Entry number 4339, Langley Rocha from Los Banos, California. Entry number 311131, Isabel Lowry from Helena, Montana.
I think that's all that's coming.
And I'll bring you a parking pass.
We would like to welcome our judge today in our open show, Ms. Ravenna Bluebird. She grew up in central Nebraska on a diversified livestock operation. She showed livestock competitively across the country, earning many national honors. Her passion for the livestock industry led her to Black Hawk Community College and Oklahoma State University, where she was a member of both competitive livestock judging teams. She has earned a number of success, including being named the high individual at the national contest in Louisville, Kentucky in 2004. She holds a degree in Ag Communications from Oklahoma State University and an MBA from the University of Central Oklahoma. She currently works as a regional broadcasting representative for Livestock Auction TV. Her and her husband Blake live in Socorro, Illinois, and have 4 children. She has judged major shows in over 25 states, and she enjoys spending her time evaluating livestock and working with the youth in agriculture. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Ms. Ravenna Bluebird.
In the Progress Steer Show, we get
Side, we start our percentage show. Really a great
That's on that side.
a lot of fun to work through this class in terms of the differences in type and kind. To me, I think we got a pair of heifers that really put together a lot of good in terms of the pieces and the basics that they offer. To me, when you start analyzing those two, the one that really jumps out in terms of being built better, she's super correct in terms of her structure. You love the look that she gives you, especially from her shoulder forward. So neat and tucked in there through her chest. One that's really good body, really stout and square when you get in behind her, and still looks like a lady and moves like a lady. Young lady there on the front end of this ringside will be your class winner. And that's not to take anything away from the heifer that we have coming in second. I think in terms of being really robust and opened up through their center body, this heifer has an advantage there. She's one that's super powerful when you step in behind her. She looks like she's really powerful in terms of her construction when you analyze the foot and leg that she's built on, but she's a little bit quicker in terms of her pattern. She's a little shorter in that cannon bone, maybe doesn't give you that same look of function that we see in the heifer that's placed directly ahead of her, but still one that gives you a really neat look from a profile, one that sure presented highly out here. Congratulations to that young lady on a really nice heifer that stands second. Then I think you have some differences out here. The young lady's heifer that's going to come next in class is one that when she gets her pulled together on the profile, she's one that's super attractive. She's long and extended out through her front end. She's one that I like the depth of body that's represented here. She gets just a little bit plainer as you analyze her through her chest. And when you set this heifer in motion, that's what kind of solidifies her to that third place position. She doesn't handle her hind leg quite as well as either of the two that place ahead of her, and you start to question her just a little bit more from a longevity standpoint. Heifer that comes next is another one that at the stand you can really like some pieces here. Young lady does a nice job presenting this heifer out here. She's a little straighter, more upright in her shoulders. She's a little tighter out of her hock. That restricts her just a little bit more in terms of movement, and in a competitive class that works to her disadvantage. A pair of differences down here on the bottom end. The young lady that's going to come next has the advantage in terms of growth and performance today, and I think that's what makes the call between those two. I'd like to change this heifer just a little bit in the way that she's put together. She rounds out of her hip a little bit more. She's a little poor balanced all the way through, and that's what makes it close on the bottom end, because I do think that the little young one is one that's sure made nice in terms of her top line. She's level and square in the way that she's put together. She's a little small-footed and more refined in terms of her bone work, and that in combination with the fact that she's a lightweight heifer out here in class kind of worked to her disadvantage today. Congratulations to all those exhibitors.
As we move over to the progress steer side, congratulations. Percentage side, congratulations to Class 1, our Class 1 winner, entry number 5304, Joanne Pants of Tucumcari, Arizona. Second place, entry number 4339, Langley Rocha of Los Banos, California. Third place, entry number 1131, Isabel Lowry of Helena, Montana. In fourth, entry number 4768, George Lott of Bayfield, Colorado. In fifth place, entry number 99, Lindley Johnson of Pappy, Texas. And rounding out the class is going to be entry number 4150, Madeline Stevenson, Hesperus, Colorado.
Well, another really nice class, and we're going to leave them the way that they came in. I think the real broody appearing kind of a heifer here, the black heifer young ladies exhibiting, is one that you can gravitate towards in this class. She's one that you really like the body type that's represented here. She's one that's stout in terms of her feature. At the same time, she's very feminine from her shoulder forward. You're going to start changing her a little bit. She gets a little open there through her shoulder. You'd like to blend that just a little bit smoother into her. Maybe there's times that she kind of represents that little bit quicker look. I think she's going to be very moderate, but at the same time, I think she's the functional one that we have out here in this particular lineup to go ahead and use to win the class. Then I think you have some give and take. The yellow heifer that we're going to go second with is one that sure has a cocky look from the profile. You like her neck and head set. You like how she ties high there into her shoulder and how balanced and level she is there from there back. She gets a little straighter, more upright in her shoulder, which is more evident when you set these cattle in motion. Gets a little shorter in terms of her step. Doesn't take that long fluid stride that we have in the heifer that plays ahead of her. Heifer that's going to stand third out here is another one that, again, is really a good-looking heifer. When the young man gets her set, one that has some feature and some stoutness to her. She's another one that's just a little bit tighter in terms of her construction. She's a little straighter, more upright there in her shoulder, and I'd like to change all that from a functional standpoint to go ahead and use her up any higher. Congratulations to these exhibitors.
Congratulations to your class winner, entry number 4667, Lindsay Kraft of Tracy, California. Rounding up the class will be entry number 5268, Katie Brown of Monteith, California. This is going to be the last and final call for class. Oops, I'm sorry. And rounding up the class in class 2 is going to be entry number 4404, Jason Lopez of La Grande, California. This will be the last and the final call for class 3 junior heifer calves January of 2021. We're looking for entry number 4496, Molly Crumb of La Palta, New Mexico. Entry number 4668, Lindsay Kraft of Tracy, California. Entry number 4856, Shelby Kinney, Berlin, New Mexico. Entry number 4437, Shelby Kinney, Berlin, New Mexico. This class should be ringside.
On one side, first on the other for the division. You got the boss behind you. Where's the boss?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a reminder that the prospect showmanship will start at 2:30. Prospect showmanship will start at 2:30.
Another really nice class here. Again, I think some differences, especially when you're working through percentage cattle. Obviously, we have different influences and different breeds represented out here. And so as I work through these, obviously, I'm just looking for the most collective good. I'm looking for cattle that are going to be functional in terms of their type and kind, and ones that have those few extra pieces to kind of add it to that. With that being said, I think that this class offers a bit more challenge in terms of where you want to stop and lay your priorities. I think that there's a pair of heifers up here that are very good in their own right, but they're very different. And so to kind of talk about those differences, the young lady in the yellow has a heifer that's very feminine in terms of her look. You like her front end, especially in the way that she ties high there with her neck. You like the body type that's represented here. You like how square and level she is out through her hip and the way that she sets her tail head appropriately into herself. She's one that when you set this heifer in motion, she gets a bit more insecure in her movement, especially from behind, and you start questioning her just a little bit from that standpoint. Heifer that's probably a little bit more genuine in terms of her width and dimension all the way through is the chromed up heifer here. She's probably one when you get right in behind her, there's more natural shape up high in this particular female, but she's also one that you'd like to see a bit more body in her. She's a little bit flatter in the way that she's constructed there through her rib shape, but when you get to comparing them back and forth, and she's maybe not as true in terms of her levelness of design and pattern as we have in the heifer that's ahead of her as well. So those are kind of the differences that I see. To me, the one that maybe is a bit more my kind in terms of the look through their center body is the young lady in the yellow heifer. That's going to be your class winner out here. We'll follow it up with this stout made, really nice profiling heifer here to be second. Young man's going to be third out here in this class, has another one that's, again, there's bits and pieces of this heifer that you can really appreciate. I like her center body. I like how robust she is, and in terms of having some upper rib shape, she's one that in a competitive class, she's a little bit plainer in the way that she puts everything together, doesn't balance up quite as nicely from a profile, maybe just a little bit smaller footed in comparison to the heifer that placed direct. To round out the class here is another one. Again, I think there's some functional pieces to this female. Again, she's one that has good in terms of her body type. She's one that's sound in terms of her movement. She's just one that's a little bit plainer in her look all the way through. She gets just a little bit off there in terms of her added style and eye appeal. Let's congratulate these exhibitors on a nice job.
Congratulations to your class winner, entry number 4668, Lindsay Craycraft of Tracy, California. Second place, entry number 4437, Shelby Kinney of Berlin, New Mexico. Third place, entry number 4856, Shelby Kinney of Berlin, New Mexico. And rounding up the class will be entry number 4496, Polly Crump of La Palta, New Mexico. We will now be bringing in all of our first place individuals from the previous classes for our division drop.
So you just pull straight in right
From
now.
class 1, entry number 5304, Joanne Vance of Tucumcari, New Mexico. From class 2, Lindsay Craycraft, entry number 4667, Tracy, California. And from class 3, we're going to have Lindsay Craycraft, entry number 4668 from Tracy, California. We'll be also bringing in our second place individuals. From class 1, Laney Rocha, Los Banos, California. Class 2, Katie Brown, Monteith, California. And class 3, Shelby Kinney from Berlin, New Mexico. Class 4, late senior heifer cab, November through December of 2020, you should be ringside. Class 4, all of the percentage, you should be ringside. Class 5, you should be making your way to the ring. Class 5, you should be making your way to the ring.
Really nice drive here as we bring back our class winners and our seconds respectively. And I think 3 females out here from winning their classes that do a lot of good. I think with where we are in today's industry and the standards that we look for, they combine a lot of things that are really important. They're ones that are built correctly at the ground as they should be, and they still represent good cow utility and long-term longevity in terms of their body type and the way that they blend shape and power and all that into a nice feminine sort of a package. I think as you start breaking these individually down, there's one that's maybe just a little bit more unique, a little harder to create in terms of having all those advantages, but still putting it together in a really super attractive kind of a way. I think there's a lot of long-term potential in this female. The youngest heifer out here is going to be your champion. Let's congratulate her.
Congratulations to your division champion. It's going to be Joni Vance of Tucumcari, New Mexico. We will be bringing in the second place individual, Lady Rocha from Los Banos, Banos, California. Class 4, Carissa Dickinson, please be ringside. Class 4, Carissa Dickinson, please be ringside. Class 5, all of the percentages, please be ringside. Class 5, please be ringside.
Here, you bring the second from that class in here, and she fits nicely in this drive. You know, we talked about her earlier as being one that's sure attractive in terms of her build. There's a lot of shape and power in this heifer. There's times you may be questioning, is she just going to be a little too quick? But again, I think that she's a heifer that's definitely got a lot of pieces you can appreciate. She's good looking in terms of her build. She's one that's still sound in terms of her footwork at the ground. She's the one I like second best. She'll be your reserve champion. Congratulations.
Congratulations to your division reserve champion, Lady Rocha of Los Banos, California. As they exit the ring, we will be moving into Class 4, late senior heifer calves, November through December of 2020. We'll be looking for a single entry number 4570, Carissa Dickinson of Chino Valley, Arizona. Class 5, early senior heifer calves, please be ringside. Class 5, early senior heifer calves, please be ringside.
Well, just a single entry out here, but sure, a good-looking, sound-featured kind of a heifer, one that gets out and travels with some flexibility off both ends. If you're going to change this heifer for me, I'd like to see her dropped with just a little bit more natural body shape. I'd like to see her deeper back there through a rear rib and flank and just have a little bit more look and function as I analyze the center portion of her body. But that being said, she's long and level in terms of her lines. She's good in terms of how she's built at the ground. All those things are impressive. Nice job. Congratulations to this young lady.
Congratulations to your class winner, entry 4570, Carissa Dickinson of Chino Valley, Arizona. We will now be moving into class number 5, early senior heifer calves, September through October of 2020. We'll be looking for a single entry, 4551, Samantha Newman of Williams, Arizona.
Oh, Blue Roan out here again, just another single entry, but one that offers some length and extension. You can appreciate that about her. She looks very feminine as you analyze her front end. One that to me is just a bit tubular in the way that she's put together. I'd like to see more natural body volume in this heifer. I'd like to change the way that she moves from behind. She's a little short in her step. I'd like to lengthen that stride out just a little bit, offer just a bit more flexibility there out of her hock, but still a nice heifer. Congratulations to this exhibitor.
Congratulations to entry number 4551, Samantha Newman of Williams, Arizona. We will now be bringing back in the class winner from class 4. Entry number 4570.
Reality shares some similarities. There's both some things I change about each one of these females that kind of fall into the same category. So then it kind of comes back to some basics, and for me, that's how they get out and move. The one that's longer strided, true moving, better in terms of the feet placement on this heifer, comes out of our first class. She's going to be your division winner. We'll follow it up with the chrome heifer here to be reserved.
Congratulations to your division champion, entry number 4570, Carissa Dickinson of Chino Valley, Arizona. Your reserve division champion belongs to entry number 4551, Samantha Newman of Williams, Arizona. Entering the class next is Class 6, Late Summer Yearling Heifers, calves July through August of 2020. We're looking for a single entry, entry number 103, C.W. Johnson of Happy, Texas. Class 7, please be ringside. Class 7, please be ringside.
Really practical made kind of a heifer here to win this class. One thing you really appreciate how robust she is there through the center portion of her body. I like the added depth that she offers from that standpoint. She maybe isn't as highly presented as some of them that have come through the ring, but I think when you view through some of that fit job maybe that we've seen in some of these other classes, there's really some basic pieces here of this heifer that you can sure appreciate. She's functional in terms of her body type. She offers a good look. You could maybe make her just a little bit more flexible in the way that she handles that hind pastern, but still just a really complete kind of a heifer to win the class. Congratulations to this young man.
Congratulations to your class winner, entry number 103, C.W. Johnson of Happy, Texas. We're going to be moving into class number 7, Early Summer Yearling Heifers, calved May through June of 2020. We're looking for entry number 4195, Kay Davis of Eagle, Idaho. And entry number 4291, Rhett Wade of Real Forks, New Mexico.
really nice class here. Again, I think there's a pair of heifers here that have some future to them. We're getting, later in the game in terms of age and nearing production, and I think both of these females look like they should in terms of their body shape. They're ones that you can kind of separate the differences based on general build and added stoutness. To me, the one that's more compositionally genuine is the black heifer. She's not only stouter in terms of her feature, but she's trimmer in terms of her condition, and collectively that kind of gives her the edge, in my opinion, to go ahead and use to win the class. The red heifer that's going to stand second is one that has a nice look to her through her neck and front end. She's very feminine from that standpoint. She's pushing it just a little bit in terms of condition for me. She wants to kind of waddle just a little bit more as she handles her hind leg consequently from behind, but still a really good bodied kind of a heifer to stand second in class. Congratulations to both of those exhibitors.
Congratulations to your class winner, entry number 4195, Kylie Davis of Eagle, Idaho. Second place in your class is going to be entry number 4291, Brett Wade of Road Forge, New Mexico. We will now be bringing in the class winners from both 6 and 7 for our division drop. We're going to be looking for entry number 103, C.W. Johnson of Happy, Texas. Entry number 4195, Kylie Davis of Eagle, Idaho. We're also going to bring in our second place from class 7, entry number 4291, Brett Wade of Road Forge, New Mexico. Class 8 Junior Yearling Heifers capped March through April of 2020. Please be ringside. Class 8, all other percentage, please be ringside. Class 9, all other percentage, please be making your way to the ring. Class 9, all other percentage, please be making your way to the ring.
Make another announcement too.
Well, two nice class winners out here in this particular division. I think both of these females, again, as we mentioned within their class, there's pieces of each of these that you can really tie to and you can breed around within your own individual programs. But I think as we combine them together and look for the most good today, we have to land on a decision that I feel confident with, one that, as I view these two, I think the heifer that has more long-term potential in terms of the way that they handle their structure, specifically out of the hock and pastern. The black heifer to me is the one that's just so much better at the ground, and that's going to give her the edge. She's going to be your champion out here in this division. We talked to just a minute ago of the red heifer that followed her up in class as being one that was really good body, just maybe pushing it a little bit more in terms of condition. I think that still rings true out here. I think when you start comparing her back to the heifer that wins the first class in this division, I think in terms of their body type, to me the difference lies then in some of those extra pieces. The one that's more genuine in terms of their width and dimension, the one that handles themselves just a little bit truer in terms on the go is the one that wins our first class. She's going to be your reserve out here. Let's congratulate her.
Congratulations to your division champion, entry number 4195, Kylie Davis of Eagle, Idaho. And your reserve belongs to entry number 103, C.W. Johnson of Happy, Texas. We're going to be moving into class number 8, Junior Yearling Heifers, capped March, April of 2020. We are looking for entry number 4174, Tristan Davis, Greenville, New Mexico. Entry number 4281, Saxton Ralston of Gruber, Texas. Entry number 361, Caleb Johnson, Hobbs, New Mexico. Entry number 4338, Lanny Rocha of Banos, California. Entry number 3944, Erica Garcia of Los Lunas, New Mexico. Class 9, junior yearling heifers, please be ringside. This is a reminder to all the other open divisions. Your classes have been posted. Your classes have been posted. You have until 2:30 p.m. today for any changes. Please check your classes, and if there's any changes, they need to be reported by 2:30 today.
Another really nice class here. We're going to use the young lady star-headed heifer here to win the class. I think that this is one that's really attractive when you look at her from a profile, but just as importantly, you set this heifer in motion and she gets out and glides around the ring with a long and fluid stride. She toes correctly up front. She's correct in terms of the width and dimension that she offers and still looks like a female. Really love the neck and chest in this heifer, especially at this stage of the game. Heifer's going to stand second out here, not to take anything away from her. This solid black heifer is really robust in terms of her body type. I appreciate that about her. She's also one that's built on some substance of bone. I like the added width that you get when you step right in behind her. To me, she's just a little bit plainer as I view her up front comparative to the heifer that wins the class, carrying just a little bit more condition down through her chest today. Maybe not quite as flashy, but still an awfully good kind of a heifer here to stand second. The red heifer that's going to be third out here is another one that at the stand has some shape and power to her. You appreciate that. When you set this heifer in motion, she's maybe just a little bit tighter in the way that she handles herself from behind. She's not quite as flashy or as eye-appealing as either of the pair of heifers that placed ahead of her. She's a little shorter and plainer up through her neck, but at the same time, she's functional in terms of her body type. She's one that has some width and dimension. The kind of Hereford marked heifer that's going to come next is another one that's really high volume. Do you appreciate that about her? To me, she's just a little bit plainer. She's a little bit narrower in terms of her construction. She's a little narrower out of her hip. She's finer boned and smaller footed, and all those things kind of work against her in a competitive class. Young lady's going to round out the class here. Another one, again, you appreciate the body type in terms of having a robust rib shape. One that to me needs more depth back to a rear rib and flank to kind of match that, and one that needs leveled out and kind of balanced up a little bit nicer to go ahead and compete in this drive. If you would, let's congratulate these exhibitors.
Congratulations to your class winner. Entry number 4338, Lane Rocha, Los Banos, California. Entry number 369, Caleb Johnson, Hobbs, New Mexico. And third, entry number 4174, Tristan Davis, Greenville, New Mexico. In fourth, entry number 3944, Erica Garcia, Los Lunas, New Mexico. And rounding up the class, Class 9, we need Shelby Kinney. Shelby Kinney, ringside. Shelby Kinney, please be ringside. Your class is about to enter the ring. We will need all division winners, or division champion and reserve champions need to be ringside. All division champion and reserve champions need to be ringside. Entering the class now is going to be class number 9, Junior Yearling Heifers, calf January through February of 2020. We are looking for entry number 1660, Roan Spencer of Hotchkiss, Colorado. Entry number 4494, Emily Crump of La Palta, New Mexico. Entry number 4436, Shelby Kinney, Berlin, New Mexico. This is going to be the last and final call for all division champion and reserve champions of the all other percentage show. Females need to be ringside. At the conclusion of our selection of our champion all of the percentage female, we're going to be moving right in to our all of the percentage bull show. So class 31, please be ringside. Class 31, please be ringside.
Another nice class here. I think a combination heifer to go ahead and use to win the class is the young lady solid black heifer over here. This is the one that maybe doesn't overwhelm you in terms of added power, maybe not the most correct in terms of her hind leg set, but at the same time when we start breaking down the positives that we really do see in this female, she's the one that's good bodied, she's the one that's sound footed, still looks feminine in terms of her front end. She combines all that together in a fairly well-balanced sort of a package. She's the complete one. That's the one I'm going to tie to win the class. I think you can make some calls from there. The other two, which direction you want to go. To me, I'm going to give a little bit of an advantage to the black heifer here that has some udder development. I appreciate that about her. She's also one that's probably a bit more correct in terms of her feet and legs. She toes truer up front. She follows with more security from behind, and it's the structural advantages that she had that gets the nod for me to play second. The blue roan heifer that we're going to have round out the class, there's no question she's stout when you get in behind her. There's a lot of upper shape in terms of the body of this heifer. You appreciate all those things about her. She's heavy structured and powerful in terms of her dimension. She's straight up front. She's a little bit tight in the way that she moves from behind, especially out of her rear pasterns. I think if you could add just a notch more true flexibility in this heifer, I think you could maybe work her up a spot or two. But a nice class. Let's congratulate those exhibitors.
Congratulations to your class winner, entry number 4494, Emily Crump.
Okay.
Lapalta, New Mexico.
We-
Second place, entry number 4436, number 3438, Lady Rocha of Los Banos, California. From class 9, entry number 4494, Emily Crump, Lapalta, California. Our second place individuals. From class 8, entry number 369, Caleb Johnson from Hobbs, New Mexico. From class 9, entry number 4436, Shelby Kinney, Berlin, New Mexico. Last and final call, ladies and gentlemen, for all division grand and reserve champions need to be ringside. All grand and reserve division winners need to be ringside.
Really nice lineup back here in this division. And again, I think, we've talked about them each in their respective classes in terms of what they really offer and the advantages that they have. But when they come back out here and it's really this cut and dry, I'm not going to take a lot of... There we go. But that being said, I think it does get pretty easy bumps. The one that's the clear winner in this division, in my opinion, is young lady's white flanked heifer over here. She's going to be your champion. We can maybe get a little bit close. Reserve out here amongst the heifer. I'll find a spot here that this thing likes. The heifer that's just second in class is one that's really good.
Just because.
I think it's running out of battery here. The heifer this other heifer is really stout, really dimensional out through her hip. The heifer that won the second class is another one that we talked about as being really correct. She's just not quite as stylish, not quite. The one that I like second best here today follows our class or our division winner in class. That's going to be.
Hey, I'm gonna run to the office and dump this thing off. And then I think I'm gonna work on getting some photos over here. They're gonna choose a champion. And I'm thinking there's probably pictures too.
Just letting you know the mic is on right now. The mic is on right now. Just letting you know.
Thank you.
Apologize for the technical
Not that I would
difficulties,
say
but our
that, but just in case.
division champion belongs to entry number 4338, Lady Rocha of Los Banos, California. And the reserve is going to be entry number 369, Caleb Johnson of Hobbs, New Mexico. We are now going to be moving into our champion female selection of the All Other Percentage Show. Joni Vance, entry number 3304 from Tucumcari, New Mexico. Carissa Dickinson from Chino Valley, Arizona. Kylie Davis from Eagle, Idaho. Lady Rocha from Los Banos, California. We'll be also bringing in our reserve division champion winners. Lady Rocha from Los Banos, California. Samantha Newman, Williams, Arizona. C.W. Johnson, Happy, Texas. Caleb Johnson, Hobbs, New Mexico. Our All Other Champion female will receive a knife that has been sponsored by the Arizona National Livestock Show. She will also receive a banner that was donated by the Arizona National Livestock Show. Our reserve champion, All Other Percentage female, will receive a banner that was donated by the Arizona National Livestock Show. Please give them a round of applause for their sponsorships.
Really nice percentage female show here, top to bottom within each class. A lot of quality that each of these exhibitors can be proud of in terms of what they were able to bring and exhibit here at the Arizona National. You know, there's so much history and prestige in this show that I know it means something. It's meant something for generations. This is a show that my mom's family used to come and exhibit at every year, and it's always fun to stand out here under the clouds or under the sun, whatever it's doing that particular day, and showcase your best. And you can tell that each of these percentage exhibitors wanted to do that. They wanted to bring their best and showcase for you here today in Phoenix. I think as we sort through these, our division winners and our respective reserves, they really put together a lot of positives for me. That being said, there's a pair of them that kind of bookend our drive out here in the sense that they just have that many more positives. They're not only those functional kind of females in terms of the basics that they offer, but they have all that with some. You know, they have those added pluses, that added look, that extra style, that extra pizzazz that makes show with livestock fun. And so I think both of them are really quite good. They're different. They're obviously at different spectrums in terms of their production. They're at different ages and scales in terms of their growth and performance out here. And so that being said, I'm just going to pick the ones that I like. I'm going to pick the one that I think represents the most good in terms of where she's at, kind of combining the things that I like to see in a high quality female. The one that I like to be your champion out here today is your big old heifer here. She's going to be your champion. We're going to follow it up with the young heifer to be reserved. Congratulations.
Congratulations, your 2021 Arizona National All of the Percentage Champion Female, Lainey Rocha of Los Banos, California. Your reserve 2021 Arizona National All of the Percentage Female goes to Jody Vance of Tucumcari, New Mexico. As they exit the ring, we're going to move right into our one and single only bull division, which will be the selection of our champion bull. We have two entries in Class 31, Junior Bull Calf on or after March 1st of 2021. We're looking for entry number 106, C.W. Johnson from Happy, Texas, and entry number 4415, Samantha Newman of Williams, Arizona. At the conclusion of our selection of our champion bull class, it is required that all of our division winners and our Grand and Reserve overall division winners report to the backdrop in the west end of open cattle barn for the official Arizona National backdrop photo. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a 5-minute call. 5-minute call for all junior showmanship. There's going to be a quick reminder that there is
two bulls out here in this breed drive here. I think that both of these bulls, again, there's some differences represented. I think there's some difference in age and performance from that standpoint. But if we get back to the basics in terms of just how good functional bulls should be built, the one that's more correct in terms of his feet and legs, the one that's more powerful in terms of genuine width is the Mark Duck bull that the young lady has. He's going to be your champion out here. We'll follow it up with the young man here to be reserved. Congratulations.
Congratulations, your 2021 all other percentage champion bull belongs to entry number 4415, Samantha Newman of Williams, Arizona. Your 2021 reserve champion, all of the percentage breeds belongs to entry number 106, C.W. Johnson of Happy, Texas.